Okay, so I will not be talking long because I know you guys are not really here to listen to me tonight. I am so excited that Courtney Glazer has offered to be on our team Zoom. I sent her a lot of the questions that you guys sent to me earlier, so thank you for all of those. When I asked Courtney to speak to the team, I told her, first of all, that we would do our best to not fangirl too hard because I know everyone is so excited that she's on here tonight, including myself. But I also told her that I think it's a misconception that she's just this social media queen that makes a post and customers just throw themselves at her, and that's all she has to do is be fabulous on Facebook and Instagram. And I know she works every single day. And so I asked her to really dive into that so you can get a real true picture. I will still say to this day, even as hard as we work, it's not the hardest job in the world. We all know that. We're not out fixing power lines in the middle of a storm. We're not saving people on an operating table. But I just want you to know that there is work behind this, and that's how you build a big, strong, successful team. So without further ado, I'm going to mute myself. And Courtney, if you are ready, we will happily hear everything you have to say.
Yes. Okay. So hi guys, I'm Courtney, and I wrote down I am normal and I am human, but I'm probably far from normal because I am weird. Like I am quirky. There is nothing special about me. Okay. I will tell you that the one thing that I do think is special about me is that I am very, very driven. I want to give you a little bit of background about me because I want you to understand where I came from. And I know one of the questions was like, what's special about you? How did you get this level of success? And so I want to paint the picture for you of where I was when I came into this industry so that you can understand my mindset, because skill set is something that anyone can learn. Mindset is something only you can develop. Okay. I can't develop your mindset for you. I can teach you how to do anything in the world, but if you have a crappy attitude, like it doesn't matter. So I don't know if you know my story, and some of you may not, but if you ever get a chance, Google my name, okay? I was a principal. I got fired in a very public manner for health reasons. And I'm not going to go into all of that. I assure you I'm a great person. There wasn't anything crazy. You can read the story for yourself. But basically, in that season of my life, like I lost everything. I lost my friends. I lost my job. I lost something I had gone to college for 10 years. I was on food stamps. I lost everything other than my people living in my home and the roof over my head. Okay. So nothing scares me. I have been at this point in my life where, you know, I didn't want to go to Walmart because I was afraid of who I would run into. During this very public time that I lost my job, it was on the news. It was on the news in Europe. Like it was this whole ordeal to where I pulled back from everyone. I really didn't utilize my social media. People didn't want to be my friend. People didn't want to ever even be seen sitting next to me in meetings whenever I eventually returned to work. People avoided me like the plague. And I want you to understand that, because I want you to understand when I found network marketing, I had nothing. I didn't have 5 close friends. I didn't have 6 coworkers. I literally had jack shit. I had nothing. Okay. I was hungry. I knew what it felt like to work so hard for a career and lose it in the blink of an eye. And I didn't ever want to feel that way again. And so, as cliche as it sounds, I need you to understand where my mind was whenever I came in and went 200K in like 6 months. I want you to understand the fire that I had. And I hope that I can help you harness your fire. I hope that I can help you go and tap in to those emotions. Because that's why I am where I am. I will tell you what I do every single day, but how I got here was knowing that there was nothing else anyone could take away from me. People laughing at me was a thing of the past. It didn't hurt anymore. I wasn't scared. I had stood up for myself in such a manner that someone rolling their eyes at me doing network marketing was the least of my concerns and the least of the things that were going to stop me. Okay. Somebody telling me no, like, does not faze me because I've lost my career before. Right. So the reason I tell you that is not, oh, poor, pitiful me. I want you to think about the hardest thing you've ever walked through in your life. And I want you to remember that you made it through that time okay. And here you are. And I want you to tap into that fire. What helped you get through that? And that's how I want you to envision and work your business every single day. Maybe it was a bad relationship. Maybe it was literally like 2-a-days in high school whenever you were a football player and you were training. Like, we've all been through hard seasons that we can look back now at and go, oh, God, I thought my life was over. Or, oh man, how in the hell did I like survive cheerleading camp, right? Like, there's no chance in hell I could survive cheerleading camp these days. There's just things that we have walked through that we didn't sit there and like, we weren't handed a map, but we made it through them. And that's what I'm reminded of every single day when I get up and work my business is I've done hard before. So hard doesn't scare me. Okay. So I'm normal. I am a human and I'm very disciplined. I envision it. And if you've ever heard me speak, I've said this on many Zooms. I literally envision that someone had taken my children from me and like, I don't know why, but I envision that they're in New York and they're like, we're not going to harm them, but you've got to figure out how to come get them, right? You have no money, no phone, no nada, and we're not going to harm your kids, but you've got to figure it out. That's how I view my business. I view my business as somebody has millions and millions of dollars with my name on it, and I've got to figure out how to help enough people to go and get it. Because at the end of the day, Paul does not have in his mind, well, I have a check for Court and I have a check for Tammy. He's like, hey, I got a bunch of money and I've done all the hard work and I'll write whoever a check wants to go cash one. Okay. And so it's not like going and finding that golden Easter egg. It is going and finding your Easter egg. It is out there for every single one of you. You've just got to figure out how you're going to go and get it. So, I want to read this to you. So I build relationships every single day, and I'm going to tell you how I do that. I tell everyone happy birthday every single day. For me personally, a lot of people like to get caught up in the details. If you overthink, you will under execute. So over planning and overthinking leads to not taking action. And that's what we refer to as the knowing and doing gap. You can know everything, but if you don't do it, you're going to get no results. So I know that I see a lot of my leaders get caught up in, well, but how do you do birthdays? I don't give a crap how you do birthdays. Tell people happy birthday. You want to sing it to them? You want to post it on their wall? No, it doesn't matter. There is no perfect way to do this. It is just, are you taking action? So I tell you that because I have seen so many people literally sit there in the same spot and they have the most beautiful social media. They have the most beautiful ideas, but they are failing to put one foot in front of the other because they're overthinking and they are over planning. Okay. I would much rather somebody think and plan and fail and recorrect their course than just not taking action. So when I tell you how to do these things, there's no perfect way to do them. How do you want to do them? You won't catch me singing happy birthday in somebody's messenger. That's not me. That's not authentic. Okay. That is literally up to you. So birthdays, I respond to every comment on my photos or on my post. So I do that throughout the day. Then something I go back and do at the end of the day is tag myself in that photo. That's very important because every single time I respond to someone's comment on a photo, they're getting a notification. So I am constantly in people's face. Then at the end of the day, I go and tag myself in a photo that is equivalent to a new post. So they're like, oh, Courtney Glaser was tagged in a photo. Guess what? It notifies everybody that I'm friends with that follow me. And then it notifies everyone that had already commented on that post. Okay. So I'm just giving you some like action steps. Those are things I do every single day. My brother-in-law is like super analytic and he's like, well, how many of those comments convert to a sale? And I'm like, I don't know. That's just how I work my business every single day, right? It's not an ad, it's a relationship. It's just building a relationship. I'm going to do that and I'm going to interact whether you join my team or you just come to my page for inspiration every day, right? So don't get caught up in that. That's not why you're here, to get someone in the computer. You're here to make an impact, and that gets somebody in the computer, okay? So Facebook groups, one of the things I was asked about. I'm sober. Those are the groups I'm in, period. I'm not in things that I'm kind of interested in. I'm in things that I am so insanely passionate about, and that's my sobriety. Those are the groups I'm going to be in. That's the only groups I'm in. Now, I'm not going to tell you not to go join different groups, but like, I'm not a dog mom. I like dogs, but I'm not a dog mom. And I never was like crazy about my dogs, right? Some people are. Some people are football moms. Some people are fill in the blank. I'm not kind of gonna join groups. I would rather you join a group that you can engage in 100% and it like gets you to your core, versus like cooking. I don't give a shit about cooking. I don't cook. Like, that doesn't interest me. Could I engage and build some relationships? Absolutely. They're not going to be authentic, right? I like to go out on the lake. Cool. I'm not going to join lake groups about boating because I don't know, like, that's just not natural to me. I'm not going to ask you what you fish with, or you know what I mean? That's like surface level to me. That's like, I like the color red. Okay, cool. No, what is something that gets you to your core? Those are the people you need to grow relationships with. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but like, if I could paint my perfect person that I'd want to partner with, it would be someone sober. It would be a mom. It would be someone who maybe has like lost their job in corporate America or had a bad taste in their mouth. That doesn't mean that every person I sign is sober and a mom. But what it means is that's where I can most genuinely be myself and grow the most genuine relationships with people. And that used to scare me, that I was putting myself in too narrow of a box. But guys, if you are just you, you're going to attract the right people, but you can't just be you. You've got to serve you to the world every day on your social media, okay? So I post 3 times a day. In a perfect world, okay? I post 3 times a day. These are the 3 categories I like to hit. Inspo, every morning I want to inspire people. I want people to wake up and read what I have to say. I just want to inspire them. It could be a quote. It could be something I read. It could be, I don't know, like anything. It's just like, there's no motive there. It is genuinely, I want to inspire people in the morning, okay? I want to serve up positivity. Then in the middle of the day, info, okay? Informational. What am I going to post? Is it going to be a before and an after? Is it going to be what this business has done for me? Is it going to be time freedom? It's going to be something that hits on the business without saying, hi, my name is Courtney and I want to sell you Thrive. Yesterday it was, and like I said, this isn't like, I don't set a timer and at 7 and at noon and at 3 I post. That's not what I do. I don't overthink things, okay? I just don't. Now, that does not mean that there's not a best time to post, but what I'm telling you is I'm not wasting time to try to figure that shit out. That's not how my brain works at all, okay? I'm not telling you there's not one. I'm just telling you, I don't know, doesn't matter to me, right? Because I think of it like the movies, that people work at all times. There are stay-at-home moms that can take their kids to the movies in the middle of the day. And I'm going to make sure that I have multiple showings every single day for someone to plug into on my Facebook. Okay. So yesterday it was a simple post that was like, went and checked on my boat. It's still intact, and I had put my team's volume over it. Okay. So you may be sitting here going, yeah, well, I don't have the volume you have. Who cares? I didn't get here because I was already here. I got here by showing and sharing one small win after another. Okay. So many people have stuck in their head that you have to be successful to become successful. Guys, that doesn't make sense. That would be like saying, well, the only people that are thin were already thin. No, there's a process to everything in life, and there's a journey to everything. You know, well, you have money. I don't have money to share. I didn't have money when I started this. I had a desire to change people's lives, and especially mine. I I had wrinkles in my forehead. I didn't have nails. I look about like I do right now. No lashes, right? I just was hungry. You don't have to have this perfect image, you know, and it's funny because I've been on my social media talking a lot because I'm like, damn, I look really different without my lashes. I want people to see like I'm real. You don't have to be perfect to be successful. You just have to be persistent, okay? So share every little win. Every time I enrolled a customer, or I'm gonna be truthful with you, every time someone even created a customer profile, I posted about it. I still do. If I enroll somebody, it goes on my story and I'll say something along the lines of 3 steps are headed your way to New York, or, and like, legit, it could just be a customer profile that was created in New York. And I don't mean that to be deceptive. I mean that because I want other people to see people want what we have. And then people are going, ooh, and they're making that connection. I celebrate every single win. I had my assistant today put together a ton of sample packs in front of me. I'm going to take a picture of them and put them on my story. I share every little thing that I consider putting a sample pack in the mail a win, right? That's going out to change someone's life. Okay, y'all, if you don't know, I get way off track, so I'm going to go back to my notes. I am posting this 3 times a day. Okay, sorry, hold on, let me go back to that. Info. So info could be anything. Like I said, it could be me with a picture of my sample packs. It could be a blatant before and after, but it doesn't have to always be, hi, I have a sale today. And I will tell you, a lot of times when I post a before and after, I'm not like, check out Tammy's story. 6 months ago, she was introduced. It's not like that. Okay. I don't do that personally. I'm more like, look at Tammy. Holy shit, her waist shrunk and her confidence grew. So proud of her. And I leave it at that. I always envision this as, and like, sorry, if you don't know me, I'm very blunt. So I really hope I don't offend anyone, but I envision it as taking someone home on the first date. Okay. I'm not trying to give it all away on my post. Nobody's going to give a shit and they're going to unfollow you, right? Just like if you took a guy home on the first date, right? They're probably not going to call you again. I'm like, you've got to build this normal relationship with people. Make them ask you, well, what did your friend Tammy take? Well, how long did she take it? Why? Because the number one goal I have is to build a relationship that involves communication. If I make a post and put everything on it, nobody has anything to communicate with me on. I want them in my inbox. I want to be talking. I want to be answering questions, but I've got to make sure that I don't answer questions that they don't have on a post. Okay. So that's my information. Then at the end of the day, interactive. And like literally these could be out of order for you. Some days they're out of order for me, but anytime I'm stuck, I have this in my head, because anytime I'm sitting there and it's 9 o'clock at night and I'm like, oh, I need to post. Today was wild. I've posted that. I posted that. Ooh, interactive. Okay. I try to do an interactive post every single day. Interactive to me needs to be authentic. It does not need to be, do you like pizza or soft tacos or hard tacos? And you're like, oh, I'm like, and you're a vegetarian, right? Like, and you don't even eat tacos. Like that so doesn't make sense. Like, be true to who you are. The other day I posted lake house, or a house on a lake, or a house on land. Truthfully, I have been going back and forth for the last 3 months in my head, like, where do I want to build our house at, right? That was authentic. Why does that matter? Because I'm going to take you along that journey for the next year and a half. And people that builds upon, that's like chapters in my book that make sense, versus, why did she say, what Disney princess would I be if I could be one? Like that doesn't matter. Like, who cares? You know, you want it to be real, raw, and authentic whenever you do anything with interaction. So this is what I always do. This has become like second nature to me, but what I do is oh my God, I will sit there and go, ooh, I want to talk to my best friend about this. I go to Facebook. Oh, I have a question for, I'm going to go to Facebook and post that. Anything you can post to get people's opinion and interaction, post it. People want an outlet to tell you their opinion. People want an outlet to give you their feedback, their advice. And guys, you have to supply that outlet for them, okay? So info, inspo, interactive. Every single day, I try to hit those categories. Every single day. That's perfect world, okay? I also get on my stories every single day, and I talk or I'm sharing something. Guys, if you're not utilizing your stories, you're doing yourself a disservice, because a lot of people just look at people's stories and that's it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be put together. Go and watch my story on Instagram in a while and you'll laugh. I had my hair in a bun with like a really cute bandana on, and my husband walked in and he's like, I would lose the bandana if I was you before you talk to those people. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I didn't ask you, but I went and made a joke about it. You know, that's real, that's raw, that's authentic. That has nothing to do with Thrive, but it has everything to do with who I am. I want to build relationships with people that they don't necessarily care what I sell, because they care about me and they know that I care about others, right? Thrive is the easy part to me. Like the products, to me, that's the easy part. The comp plan is the easy part. I always say Jason and Paul do the hard work for us. They've created an amazing business plan. They've created amazing products. I've got to go create relationships. That is my number one job. Why? Because that is how you get retention. Retention is in relationships. Relationships come from consistency and trust. It's just like having a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a relationship with a coworker. It takes time to build, and it takes consistency, and it takes predictability, right? Because you've got to have some foundation to keep building upon. That's how a relationship works, guys. So if you're not showing up consistently, your audience is never going to trust you. I want you to think about the person in your life that you would go to that's a realtor. I want you to think about the person in your life that you would go to that's a nurse. You know, like if one of your kids like has like the weird bite on their leg, or we probably can all think of that person, right? I know exactly who I would call, because I trust them, because they've shown me who they are. They're a professional in that area. You need to get up and show everyone you're a professional in this area. One of the biggest aha moments for me was in 2018. I realized that this is an actual career. And I say this very humbly because I told you how I got started and why, but I was holding a conversation with a veterinarian, and I don't believe that anybody is better than anyone because of the money they make, okay? I don't. But I also never was proud of what I did, because I felt like it was like not professional. And it was in that moment I realized like I make more than a veterinarian in my leggings, that I finally felt proud. And like I said, it's not that I felt better than, that's not it at all, but I felt proud enough to hold myself in a way that this is a profession. This is actually a very lucrative profession that I should be proud of. And it took me, I mean, I was already very successful, but it took me realizing that for me to have insane success, because it changed the way I held myself, the way I carried myself, the way I behaved. That's actually when I got sober. It changed the way I confidently talked to other people. And so I just really want you to reflect upon, like, what do you feel like when you talk about this or when you're asked about it? Like if someone asked you, what do you do for a living? Would you tell them what your main job was? Or would you proudly say, well, I'm a teacher and I run an online health and wellness business? Would you say it like somebody that owned a brick and mortar? Because you should, right? And I think a lot of times we don't, and we wonder when that's going to come in. It's going to come in whenever you have the mindset that you're a professional and you're a business owner. It doesn't come in to play once you're successful. It has to come into play so you can be successful. Okay. Opportunity Zooms versus opportunity live events. I will tell you, I don't overthink that. I kind of just like see the needs of my team. I go into two different modes: support mode and production mode. So support mode would look like, let's say I have 3 new team members and I'm helping them. I'm not going to put up a poll to try to like solicit a sale. I'm more just going to share my day because I'm busy growing with those 3 people, right? But once they get moving and grooving, then no, I'm for sure going to be putting something on my story. I don't know if that makes sense. So what I mean by that is I go through stages as a leader of I'm going to support and help you grow in your mindset and in your skill set. And then I know when to immediately switch into, okay, love y'all, text me if you need me, but I am super focused. I am doing opportunity live events for the next few weeks. And I don't mean soliciting in a ooh way, but like I am drumming up some new, like, hey, I'm going to get some people in the computer without going, I need to get people in the computer type of attitude, right? I call it production mode. So it's support versus production. I also view it like this, as a pilot. A pilot is going to be seated, and so are the stewardess whenever you're getting that aircraft off the runway. Okay. Once you're at a safe altitude and there's no turbulence, then everyone can take their seatbelts off. And then that is whenever the stewardess go around and help you and serve you, like pre-COVID. Okay. But you know, you get the drift. So I always say in production mode is whenever I am buckled in and I am laser focused and you're not pulling me left or right, I am in production mode. That means I'm in enrollment mode. And then support mode is, okay, we're at a cruising altitude. I have 6 new team members. I'm going to take off my seatbelt and I'm going to get on a one-on-one Zoom and I'm going to sit with them and I'm going to grow them. There is no perfect way that works. You have to know the pulse of your team. You have to. That is one of the things that I learned from being a teacher, is knowing the pulse of my team. If you ever think something seems off with one of your team members, it probably is. And a simple, hey, how are you doing? Is there any way I can support you? Goes so freaking far, okay? I don't babysit at all, but I support all day long. I always tell people, you won't always hear from me, but you'll always get an answer from me, okay? Okay, I'm just going to keep going. So that's support versus production. You have to decide what value are you adding up to your social media every single day? Like what category does it fall into? I remember there was this one girl that became super successful because she freaking shared crock pot recipes every night. And I don't mean shared. I mean, she would go live and make a crock pot meal, right? Like that's no, it was Instapot. But that was her consistent thing that people knew that they could come and get value. Like, wonder what recipe she has tonight, and she still does it, and she's a multimillionaire, right? But that was her hook, that was her value, that is what she was growing some authentic relationships by doing. So what value? Why would somebody come to your page every single day? Why would somebody literally type your name in of their search bar and come to your page every single day? Now, that's not how I sign everybody being sought out. I get in people's news feeds, of course, but why does someone come back to Courtney? What is she serving up every day that's predictable and that's relatable and that I can rely on her for? Ask yourself that. 3 years ago, I would have told you I don't have a clue. I didn't have a clue what that meant. I didn't have a clue who I was. I didn't even know what my favorite color was, right? I was so lost. But then I started really refining, who am I? What do I love? What is something that I can consistently share over time? And I will tell you, that is not something that you may, I know it sounds crazy, but you may not be able to sit down tonight and make a list of a few things because you might not know who you are. I didn't know who I was. I wasn't sober 3 years ago. It took me literally walking one foot in front of the other and figuring out who I was. But I want you to reflect upon that question as you figure out who you are. What value are you serving up every single day that would make somebody type your name in that search bar to come back to your page? And I promise you, it's not because you have the coolest purple vitamins. We all have those same vitamins, right? There are millions of people out there that do. Why is someone going to come back to you? I had a girl, this is probably horrible. No, I'm just going to tell you. I had a lady the other day that was like, hey, my daughter is best friends with this girl that's a top leader in your company, but I've never felt comfortable approaching her. And like, I don't know this lady from Adam. She's like, and I don't mean this rude about this other thriver, right? But she's like, I feel like I know you and I can trust you and I really want to order with you. And I'm like, okay, like, I'm not going to say no. I don't know who in the hell this woman is, but because I've shown up and I've been real and raw and authentic, even though she knew this other girl from whenever she was little, and I'm not telling you go out and steal people. That's not my point of that. My point is people are going to go to where there's a relationship and where there's relatability. And there's Thrive everywhere out there, right? There is. I mean, Erin Aponte lives by me. Lori Tate lives by me. Amber Mainquest lives by me. I got people everywhere that thrive, but people connect with different people. So think about what value are you serving up to someone? Do you know how many times people are in my inbox and they're like, you're sober, I'm sober, I want to change my life, I want to be on your team. Cool. You know, you don't have to be sober, but maybe you're gluten-free, maybe you're dairy-free, maybe you're a marathon runner. Like, what is it about you that you can live, you could literally go and connect with a certain somebody about, okay? So ask yourself that over and over and over. Another thing that I want to talk to you about. So there was this October whenever I decided to get super duper focused. I don't know if you know this about me, but I've lost rank 5 times. Okay. I've been here for 3.5 years, and I am not saying this to brag. I'm saying this very humbly. I've made multiple millions of dollars here. Haven't been here 4 years yet. And I've lost rank 5 times. Okay. I also lost my upline, their upline, and their upline. So hello, no placement. Hello, no, hey, you got any credits? Those conversations don't exist in my world because I don't have that. I have inherited an upline that was enrolled by Maria, and they are amazing individuals, but we read like them, right? So it doesn't make any sense at all. We don't read like Maria, please. But you know what I'm saying, the person under them. But I'm going, okay, like it's okay. I don't remember. Oh, so that 90 days, I really don't remember what I was going to say with that. Hold on. There's a reason I was saying that. I'm telling y'all, like, I am a squirrel. I lose my train of thought. Damn it. There was a reason I was telling y'all that. Oh, because I've lost rank. That's why I was telling you that. Okay, so it was in this 90 days where I was like, okay, y'all, my team fell apart. We went from $700,000 in volume to barely holding on to 80. Okay. Double QV did not help. Okay. That was like the devil. If you were around during that time, you know what I'm talking about. And I remember asking myself, I'm like, I love these products. I love this opportunity. I love this so much. Like, I looked at my husband and I said, I cannot whine to you for 90 days. We had enough money in the bank at the time that it didn't matter. And I said, literally, if everyone but me and you leave for 90 days, I cannot bitch, moan, complain, get negative, nothing with you, right? Like, someone could be like, hey, me and my, 200K team are leaving to sell leggings. And like, my automatic response would be like, have a nice day. Like, I literally was like, okay, I have to do that because at the end of that 90 days, I'll know whether I should be here or not, right? Because at that time I'm going, like, what else could I lose? I've lost my upline, half my team, like this and that, and I'm more than half my team. So in that moment, I put on blinders and I literally was like, I will leave you on red. I blocked out all of the noise. I blocked out everything, and I got my rank back. And it took, in those 90 days, I lost a lot. But when you lose distractions, sometimes they're in the form of teammates. Okay. And I don't tell you that because I look at my teammates and I'm like, well, you're a distraction. I look at that because when stuff happens around me or someone quits or this or that, I don't take it personal and I keep going because I ask myself, well, what if they didn't quit? Would I be done? The answer is no, you wouldn't. So why are you going to be done if they do quit, right? My mission's always going to be the same, whether I'm making $1 million a month or it doesn't matter. My mission's now, I'm never going to be like, well, they all are doing what they're supposed to do, so I'm just not going to go to work this year. Like, I'm not wired that way, right? So in those 90 days, I got super positive, and I put on my blinders, and I knew it was almost like in my head, like I had on my raincoat, my rain boots, my blinders, my umbrella, and I was like, here we go, right? It's gonna rain. We already know that's in the forecast, but I'm not gonna stop. And when I got through those 90 days, I realized that I would always lose team members. I would always have ups. I would always have downs, but the goal isn't to not have ups and downs. The goal is to have ups and downs that don't put your stomach in your throat. You know, like on a roller coaster, how it's like, oh, y'all ever feel like that with your business? Like, oh, but like you're not on a ride, so there's not really anything to do. And you're wondering, like, when am I going to catch my breath? Well, I learned that you need to create something so grand and so abundant that if a $200,000 team decided that they wanted to go sell leggings, that you sincerely could bless and release them and keep doing what you're doing. Because I used to lose sleep when a 4K would leave, or someone would sign up and they were supposed to be badass and they didn't do anything. And I realized that that was destroying my mindset. I remember calling Mario one time and crying because a 4K walked away. And then I was like, I'm literally talking to Maria about losing $4,000 in volume. She is probably like, girl, I lost that when I went to the bathroom a while ago. You know, I thought, if I ever want to be like her, like, because, you know, I value her, I look up to her. If I ever want to be that successful, I can't cry over this. And that was a huge ass reality check for me. So I just wanted to share that with you. So what can you cut out for 90 days? Can you cut out Candy Crush? Okay, true story. I just put it back on my phone, but I take it off during certain times, right? I remove certain things. Like my friend the other day was like, have you seen this show on Netflix? I'm like, have you seen what I am working on right now? I have not watched Netflix, okay? Like the audacity for you to think that I would watch Netflix. But I go through certain seasons in my business where I know production versus support. What mode do y'all think I'm in right now? There's bonuses on the line. I'm in production mode. Like I seriously hope, Tammy, your team is not easily offended, but there's like this song that's like, I left a hoe on red. Like, I will leave you on red. Like, if you are negative, my team knows I'm like, I love you, but I will not. Like, I will not. And my team knows they don't bring that to me anymore. If they are like, oh my God, Susie got her vitamins and 3 packages were opened, and oh my God, like, what are we going to do? Because we don't even have a customer service number. I will leave you on red. Like, the one thing I learned in this industry is that there are no emergencies and there's no building that is on fire. Okay. Literally, independence is the best thing that you will ever give yourself and your team. And I don't mean independence like you're not going to work and you're going to prop your feet up, but independence that you're going to get up and you are going to work hard, and that you don't have people like hanging off of your shirt like you have a bunch of 2-year-olds, right? Not doing it. I'm in production mode right now. So I'm not watching Netflix. I'm not going to happy hour. I don't drink anyways, but I'm not, hey girl, do you want to come over and like have a girls' night? No, I do not. I'm sorry. I love you, but I'll catch you. I told my friends I will talk to you in May. I told my husband I will talk to you May 1st, and I'll probably shave my legs then too. Okay. Like, I don't have time for that right now. We have bonuses on the line. Like, I don't know about y'all, but like, I can't sleep at night because like, I think about all of the people out there that are either on my team that aren't on my team right now, that this would change their life. Like one girl today, she was an ex-addict and her teeth were all rotten. And she sent us all, you know, she's been clean for like years, but she couldn't smile. She didn't want to talk to anyone because her teeth were all rotten. And she went and she got all new teeth today. And like, that's why I do what I do. And I keep those things on my mind. And like, I can't sleep right now because I'm so excited about what we have our hands on. I sure don't have time to entertain drama or negativity, right? I'm like, literally, I don't know if y'all saw this on my social media, not like y'all follow me. I really don't think I'm cool, but some of you may have seen this. I called my assistant who lived in Louisiana and I was like, so can you come live with me for 4 months? Because I literally have not eaten in like 2 days and I want these bonuses so bad for my team. Will you please come live with me for 4 months? We can talk about pay. We can talk about whatever. I need help because I knew that for 4 months I was going to be in production mode. That's a decision I made. Nobody called me. Nobody told me that. I can see the vision. I know what it's like to open up a check that has $60,000 written on it. I want my team to know what that feels like. I won't stop for anything. I won't stop for someone quitting. I just had a whole big chunk of my team leave. You know what I said about it? Nothing. I don't have time. I love them. I hope y'all have fun. Like, I don't have time. I love where I am, right? I literally do not do distractions, negativity, drama. And I was the first person that used to do it. Now I've realized that it literally does me no good. And so I will put up those boundaries with others instantly. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go. Okay, I could talk all night. So let me go to your questions because I want to make sure I answer y'all's questions. So what's special about you that helped you succeed? I was willing to not shower, not sleep 8 hours a night, and fight for this like my life depends upon it. Because my life does depend on this. The life I've created for my children does depend on this. I don't care how much money I have sitting in the bank. I think about my daughters and their future children and their future children. I don't do this to pay my mortgage. My mortgage is paid off. I do this because I know that generations after me will be counting on this financial situation that I'm setting up. Okay. So there is nothing special about me other than you quite literally would have to run me over with a car to get me to slow down or stop chasing my dreams. That's it. You can't stop me. And that's what, like, that's it. That's the only difference in between me and you. I don't even know if I put on deodorant today, y'all. There is nothing special about me at all other than like my tenacity, but I don't believe that that's special. I don't believe that that's God-given. I believe that God gives you situations, and then what you rise from those situations as, that's what makes you. It's not like, well, I'm sitting here and I'm a, quarterback that's won the Heisman and y'all all want to be the Heisman one day trophy winner. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a mindset, not a skill set. And that's not a skill that you can't acquire. Like, there is no chance in hell that you could send me to singing lessons and I would ever be able to sing like Taylor Swift. Like, it's just not going to happen, right? My vocal cords are not set up like hers. But this is just talking about a mindset, and we all can acquire this mindset, okay? I have a promoter that's been MIA for years, but now they're back and ready to run. What's your advice? Lace up your shoes. Let's go. I'm going to tell you right now, though, and I'm going to be super blunt. The chances of them jumping on board are 50-50, and I'm not going to sit with them and figure it out. My thing is, I've been here all along. I've been accessible all along. I don't do anything different than I did yesterday if somebody decides to take their business seriously. I don't, and here's why. I've had people that have left and then they've come back, and I've experienced that most people that leave and come back, there's maybe a 10% chance that they're going to take it serious. And so while I'm not going to dismiss that 10%, and while I don't mean that in a rude way, I don't ever want you to think that you need to slow down because somebody's ready to take off running. That's not your job. I tell people, like, I'm me today and tomorrow, whether you show up or not. It has nothing to do with how I'm going to lead you. And let's go, lace up your shoes and show me you're serious. But I'm not going to be like, hey, so you said you were going to come back and work your business. You don't have anything to prove to me. You have a lot to prove to yourself at that point, if that makes sense. My daily routine, I kind of went over that. Do I only work with my level ones? Absolutely not. And I will be very transparent with you. There are people on my leadership retreats that I don't get paid on. There are people that win my giveaways that I don't get paid on. I don't believe in that. And I don't know if you agree or disagree. I don't believe in only working with your level ones, and I don't believe in working with only your personally enrolled. Now, if you have a opportunity to do the exact same thing with business moves, yes, go to your personals. I mean, it only makes sense, right? but people don't know who my personals are and who they aren't. I think that pisses me off. It makes me sick because I just don't believe that that's fair. My leadership team is 40Ks and above. I don't care who enrolled you. I don't care if you're on level 15. If you earn a spot at my leadership retreat, come. Like, I don't know. In fact, the girl that won the Range Rover, she came to my leadership retreat and she won the Louis Vuitton I gave away at it. And I think she's like my level 13. Like, I don't care. Why? Because that helped her level, that helped my level 12, 11, 10. It all goes up. Your efforts and who you pour into it all goes up. I just don't do that. Team huddles and Zooms. We have a huddle every single Sunday night, and that is our mindset. It is called our team huddle that somebody pours in just like this. It's just like this. And then for my team, we have Monday through Friday, we have work with me sessions. They're called Millionaire Mindset meetings. And every evening and every morning, we work together for an hour. I led them myself, all 10 of them, before I figured out who my leaders were, and I delegated. Now I don't lead any of them. Okay. I don't know that that's what made me successful, but that's what created a home and community for people to plug into. I don't know that you need 10 a week. Like, I don't get on 10 a week. But it works. It works. I think just, figuring out what you can consistently provide for your team so that they feel a sense of community, since we're all online. And that can look different depending on your team's needs. Like, you could have a team that are full of teachers. Well, no one's going to get on at 7 a.m. You know what I mean? You just got to kind of figure out what your team needs. I helped people achieve rank bonuses because I knew exactly who I was working with. I know exactly every single day who I'm working with, where their volume is, where their gap is, and I'm talking to them every single day, and I am taking ownership of their ranks just like they are. So if Alexis is going for 80K, I don't think Alexis is going for 80K. Alexis and I are going for 80K. I have always treated my business like that. It is just as important that I enroll my ass off to help these people get where they are. Nothing makes me more disappointed in myself than to not have a waiting room full of people. I don't have a waiting room full of people at all times. That's not realistic. It's just not. But I am most proud of myself as a leader whenever I know that I am still in the trenches and I'm still just matching my team's efforts, right? That's very important to me. So placement, incentives, I convert both of my auto bonuses every single month and put that money back into my team. I didn't do that from day one, but those are things I do now. If there's BOGO and I have extra money, it has to make sense for you. Maybe, you're just like, maybe that's like unrealistic for you. That was unrealistic for me, even when I was very first to 200K. So maybe it was just like, hey, I'm going to stock up on a BOGO and then I'm going to offer some sculpts to help close customers, or whatever you can offer your team. My resources for me are always for my team. So people don't ask me for credits because they know not to. However, they know once I hit my qualifications for like Mexico, I'm always viewing my stuff as my teams, because I can only enroll so many people by myself. Okay. The best thing you want to do is be able to help multiple people enroll multiple people. So I know a lot of people are very stingy with their stuff, and I'm like, why? Like, you literally are helping other people do your work whenever you can incentivize other people, right? Like, that's what you want to do, is pass that down. Packs, I'm going to be very straightforward with you, and I know that this may not be the way you run, and that's okay. I don't train people until they purchase. I personally don't. I don't talk about, oh, you can be a promoter for free. I don't. I have enrolled promoters for free. I have an 80K that came in on a free account. I feel like I don't have to get someone to spend money whenever I present them to them, they get to choose, are they going to do the 200, the 400, or the 800? And then we're going to work backwards. So Courtney, I am broke. I want this so bad. My electricity's about to be turned off. God, I can't, I don't have any money to get started. Absolutely, I'm going to have a conversation with them about a free promoter account. But what I'm not doing is going, hey, sign up for a free account, and then trying to figure out how to get people to order products. Does that make sense? So it's not that I won't do them, but I don't advertise that because I don't know. I hope that makes sense. I cross that bridge when I get there. I don't assume that they need to come in on a free account, right? So that's how I tackle that. This person says, I have a lot of promoters, but can only get them to purchase promoter packs during double or triple. I'm going to tell you what you have during that. And what you have, and what I say is I have glorified customers. Those are not promoters. Those are customers, okay? And those are great to have. They help with volume pushes during those times. Those are not promoters. Those are customers on a promoter profile. And you can only view them as that. And that's okay. We need those too. Wording that I send to get people to sign up to invest in packs. I literally, when they ask me how much it costs, I say, hey, we have 3 different packs. We have an $800 pack. Or no, I say we have a $200 pack. It'll give you enough stuff for you to start thriving. We have a $400 pack. It'll give you enough to start thriving, samples, and actually sample mail out credits. Most people start on a $400 pack. Most of my people do. And then I say, and then we have an $800 pack. And I'm very transparent about this. I don't sell a lot of those because I don't want a bunch of products sitting in people's house whenever I want to teach you to thrive for free. But and I'll tell them this, the actual wording I use is $800 packs are awesome if you already have a huge network, such as you own a salon, you are a hairdresser, or you are transitioning with a huge team. But if not, I don't want you sitting on a bunch of products, so that wouldn't make sense. Well, what have I told them? I've told them the cheapest. I've told them the most expensive and not tried to sell them on it. And then I've told them a middle ground. Almost every single person picks the $400 pack because they know, and I'll tell them too, now don't get me wrong, if you buy the $800 pack, I make the most money, but I don't want to make the most money, I want to make the most sense. And that's what I tell them every single time. Okay, do y'all have any questions? I answered all of those. What questions do y'all have? Because I could talk all night.
There is one question that came in late after I had already sent those to you. And you've talked a lot about mindset tonight. Is there something particular that you do, a podcast, a person you follow? What do you do to stay in that bulletproof mindset?
Okay, so there are a few things, and I'm just going to be super blunt. I do not like foo-foo stuff. I don't like Rachel Hollis. I like her. I don't find her inspirational to that extent. I feel like in this industry, you need a really tough mindset. You need a get your ass up, let's go F stuff up together. Woohoo, I'm going to set the world on fire mindset. Because nobody just kind of sort of went 200K. Nobody just kind of sort of, oh, hey girl, hey, went into the Millionaires Club, right? I mean, people don't wake up there by accident. I always tell my team, you need to envision yourself as sliding into home plate. There's 2 outs, bases are loaded, and you are down by 1. And you have got to go and get casted afterwards because now your bone is exposed because you've broken your arm. That's how I envision my success, and that's how you have to envision it. So I love Eric Thomas. I love the book Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Oh, if I ever go missing and my husband wants to know what man I'm with, it's going to be David Goggins, because I know he would just be like, get up, let's go. Why are you sleeping? It's 4 a.m. I love that man. He just gets me so fired up. Okay, so also I have these cards. They're super attractor cards. I pull one every single week. They're like $19. They help me stay positive. They help me harness any of my fears that I'm having and kind of make sense out of them. I don't know. I really like these. Brittany Plunkett taught me about these. They're called Super Attractor by Gabrielle Bernstein on Amazon, $19.99. Can't Hurt Me is the book by David Goggins. I also like do a lot of things like this. Like I have a ring on my desk, and this could be something y'all could do as a team. And like my team on our retreat, you could even do this like at a local or just anywhere. It has my name on it, and like everybody wrote me a message. So it's like, I'm more than my anxiety. I'm a bad bitch. I can get through anything. Like my team wrote me things on here. And so when I'm having a bad day, I read one of these. I still have bad days. I have really effing bad days, you know? Another thing I do is like I have cards from people that are sitting out in front of me. So when I feel like a shitty leader because, you know, someone wants to tell me that I'm mean or this or that, I'm like, no, I'm not. I know where my heart is. I know where my passion lies, and I read these things. And so you may be going, well, that's cool, but I don't have a team like yours. Okay, well, who can you be a person like that too? Another thing I do is whenever I feel that way is I sit down and I write cards to people. I love like making someone else feel good. And so if I'm feeling icky, the other day I was like I quite literally could have thrown up. And I remember I came into my office and I sent a message to two of my leaders and I said, hey, who are two girls that I could drop a card in the mail to? Like that changed my whole mood for the whole day. So you will have bad days. I just battle it with that. I have a really gangster playlist that I listen to. Like, you know, some people like want to listen to like anytime I'm flying, I'm really afraid to fly, but I fly a lot. And I need to listen to like, you were bad bitch, mofo. Like on the way to the airport, you would literally think I was going to rob a bank. My husband just looks at me because he loves like 50s music. And I'm just like, rapping it out, and he's like, we're just going to the airport. And I'm like, I know, I'm psyching myself up, man. Like that's what I have to do because I do struggle with anxiety. I do struggle with those things, and it doesn't get easier. You know, the more success you have, the more haters you have. Like trust me, I always am like, I could never be Kim Kardashian because like, holy shit, you know, you just got to check yourself and ask yourself, like, is it really that serious? Like, is it really that serious? And if it's not, you got to just check yourself, man, and put yourself right back into a good mindset and expect that. Like, literally, when do rainbows come out? How are muscles formed, right? It's science. It's pretty damn easy if you think about it, that a rainbow comes after rain. Muscles come from lifting heavy things. Success comes from challenges. It just does. Like so many people think they haven't found the path to success because there's potholes and like trees that have fallen and like deer running in front of your car. Like, no, that's exactly what it looks like. You just have to decide to not turn around and go try to find an easier road, because then you're back at square one. I envision my success as a journey that has made me keep my hands on the wheel, right? Because at any time you're going to hit a pothole, you're going to hit whatever it may be. You get to decide though if like your car flips or not. And I always say, like, if you're not hitting bumps in the road, if you're not hitting obstacles, you're not growing. Like, you're just not. And that is one of the hardest things to understand in the moment. But I always try to zoom out, y'all. Like, I am the type of person where I would fight you, right? Like, I am hot-headed. Like, I am so glad that there was not social media when I was in high school. Like, but now I've learned to be like, okay, calm down, think rationally. There is something called emotional intelligence that you should look up. It basically is saying that your feelings do not always match what's really going on, and you have to be smarter than your emotions. And there are times where like I would be wanting to like fight somebody because they said, okay, like seriously, like really, Courtney, like really. And so I just have learned to be like, it's really not that big of a deal. It's going to be okay. But that just takes me putting my left foot in front of my right over and over. Do you ever feel like, oh, I don't know who I'll ever sign. I don't know who I'll ever sign again. I'm like feeling that way right now because like I need one more promoter for Mexico, and like I'm gonna be damned if I roll up into next month not already having it earned, right? But I have to stop and remember that like 3 years ago, there was a next person and a next person and a next person. And so what I try to remind myself of is like when you were little and you're like playing hide and go seek with your cousins and like you don't know where they are, but you know they're going to jump out and scare the shit out of you. That's where success is, guys. You just have to keep going and looking for it. And that next person is right around the corner, but like you don't know where that corner is, but there are other people out there. Like literally there's never a point in anyone's success journey where they are like, okay, well, I'm never going to sign anybody again because I've used up everyone. I have found everyone that I would like. That doesn't exist, you know? So don't feel like it exists on your worst day either. There's going to be that next person. You know, I envision this, that there are 200 Ks on my team that are not conceived yet. There are millionaires on my team that their parents are not even married yet. Okay. And that's an abundant mindset. And it took me having a really shitty lack mindset to have an abundant one. Another book that I really want to tell you about is called The Illusion of Money. If you ever struggle with lack or mindset or feeling like scared because your volume's down, or did you take a bath? Okay. If you ever feel like your emotions are tied to a number, you need to read The Illusion of Money. You need to read that book. It is so good because I promise you, if your emotions are tied to a little bit of money, a lot of money doesn't make it any better. It's your mindset, man. Okay. Any other questions?
I don't see any other questions that have come through. So I see you have your baby there. So it's time for you to be a mom. I want to thank you from all of us for being here with us tonight, pouring into us. I know I will probably have trouble sleeping, as so will the rest of the team. So I do want to ask of all of you that took the time to be on the Zoom tonight, or you're watching this replay, please don't just watch this and leave fired up. Do something with what you just learned. She just gave you so much information. You should have notes and notes and notes and notes. Do something with it. Grow your business, grow you. And then I can't thank you enough, Courtney. Thank you.
Absolutely. I love pouring into others, and I just can't wait to see all of your shout outs and you guys winning. Just know that like the opportunity is infinite, right? There's not only 3 more of you that can go 12K, 40K. You all can. Just go get it. Okay. Love you guys.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, everybody.